How horrible or compromising is politics? Well, I was at a meeting yesterday. Honorable Minister Zulfikar was there, Minister of Agriculture. And my duty was very simple going there. So, share the urgent situation of health in this country, the crisis of health within this country. So, I know that I will have to come clear because the whole concept of politics is to go with the flow, and if I do not make my point clear, it will simply be brushed under the mat. Because in this age, men take wrong for right and right for wrong, and very easily the right things just is brushed to the side. So, of course, the minister was talking about all of the hospitals and medicine and all of the big people coming into the country to um, be part of health. And also, he was comparing different countries. He was mentioning, I think, one of our country that took the number one position in the Caribbean when it comes to health, but we took it back. The government took it back for the people. So I was listening very carefully, and when there's the opportunity for to present something, I took the opportunity. So I began by saying that actually you do not evaluate health based on how many buildings are there or the presence of medicine or by comparing countries. You judge health in a very objective way at the very lowest level. For example, what is the increase of mental health? What is the percentage increase or decrease of mental health? Talking about stress, talking about anxiety, talking about depression, to name a few. What about the case of physical health, hypertension, diabetes? What is the increase in percentage or what is the decrease in percentage for these two things? And these are critical things, critical health situation in this age and time that must be addressed. So this is what it means to address health. It's not the superficial things. And actually, when I make that point, I'll tell you what happened later on as I try to share. So after I mentioned that point that it is only through survey that you know if there's an increase or decrease, the percentage increase or decrease. I mentioned that some more details as to bring the situation to reality. I talk about the increase in accidents. I talk about so many health disorders, the cases where dorms were burned down. So basically, the reality of health is that it's falling apart. So this is the thing about politics. Number one, politics does not go to the actual substance of the situation. Rather, it compares superficial levels. And because people do not know what's good for them, people do not know the truth, people will just buy it out. And also, people just want to, have better material things. But when it comes to their own personal health, people don't really care too much. They kind of give up. But the persons who are supposed to represent the people and really drive and convince the people, they are not doing it. This is called politics, right? So yes, I talk about the actual situation of mental health, and I also talk about in education that every single system of a country is evaluated by health because health is our wealth. So I mentioned those points. I mentioned that in the agricultural sector, nutrition and medicine is evaluated, the ability of the agricultural sector, of the educational system, of the economic system. It's all evaluated by the state of health. Health is our wealth. So I mentioned all of these points, and I tried to finally bring everything together now that health has to go through education in order to reach the people. And through the agricultural sector, agriculture responsible for nutrition and medicine, making sure that the people are inspired to grow fruits, vegetables, and herbs to have all of their nutritional and medicinal needs covered. So through education and through agriculture, we are actually fulfilling the mandate of having good health. So there is health, then there's the means to deliver the message to the people, and the actual substance or the actual practice to have good health, agriculture, there's where it lies. So there is a, you want to have health, you have to educate the people, and you have to be practical through agriculture, fruits, vegetables, herbs, acquiring nutrition, and medicine. So that is it. Simple, right? So after he made all of these points, and I also mentioned that children have all kinds of health problems. People have died, children, students have died because their body couldn't take the pressure of going on a hike, and people collapse like that. So they have high education, so many grades, so many degrees, but on the other hand, there's no balance when it comes to their health. So health and education has to be at the balance. Otherwise, the education is just for education's sake or for personal motive sake, but it's not to really uplift the individual and uplift society. And you can only education can only function if there is health. In other words, so these are the connections I made there. And finally said how to do it. At least we need to put out the signboards, these big signboards that are misleading people behind poor health. We need to change these signboards. All of the big signboards, use those powerful signboards. The bigger signboards to promote permaculture, permaculture for to cultivate organically grown fruits, vegetables, and herbs. To cultivate organically plant-based products so that the families can be inspired and they can transform their lands, and we have health on the roll. Okay, so that's the proposal. And these smaller, we're not perfect people who want to take a little drink, want to take some meat or whatever. We're not perfect. I take milk. I don't want to drink milk because I know the horrible background of what happens in the slaughterhouses and all these kinds of things. This is the age to be sensitive to these things. We're not perfect people. So the idea is that throw the information out to the people, give the people the truth about about healthy living. The people deserve to know about it. People deserve to connect with nature and make themselves happy, make themselves bonded, and stabilize society. Let the people know what is contentment, easy living, and great productivity. So the people have a right to be to connect to good health through a plant-based diet, organically grown plant-based diet, and the duty of the government is to represent that right of the people, and not to go with these big junk food companies. You have the junk food companies, all of the parents who have addictive children who are addicted to junk food right now. There's no representation for them, or very little, a little on the surface. Then there's the alcohol, big alcohol signboards. What is going on? And there's so much of accidents happening. We are seeing the connection, yet everything is just brushed under the mat, right in front of our eyes. So there's alcohol, and then there's sugary foods, right? Sugary foods, all of the soft drink signboards, so much of sugar contributing to diabetes, and all of these things are there. And finally, meat eating, causing the greatest rate of deaths through heart attack, right? So we want the signboards to represent good health. Health is such a thing that it distinguishes how lively you are and how lifeless you are in this age and time. And if you're completely lifeless, that means you're dead. Health decides that. And who had to represent health? The government got to do it. Leadership got to do it. If leadership does not do it, who else will? I'm trying my best to bring sensitivity to the subject. How much can I do? But I'm not going to give up. That's why I'm making these recordings. And please share this. Please share it for our loved ones, because this message, you will not hear them twice. Okay, so share. And Finally, when you make all of these, when you make all of these things, when I talk about the connection of health and the systems of society, and then I talk about health, education, and agriculture, and then I talk about the actual situation of health, wherein everything is falling apart. And then I talk about the signboards. You know what he said? We are building, we invest, let's say, millions, billions of dollars in hospitals and medicine. We have discovered. I was like, what is going on here? What is going on here? We can, it's facing you in the face that we are following a blind system, a system that does not represent the people, but represent the whole game of politics. The whole game of politics just goes with the flow, get easy attention, and position, throw back, enjoy. That's called politics. Yes, it begins with families because we put them there. Okay? So this is the whole politics. It stinks because at the end of the day, there's so much of deaths. People are saying, "Oh, I love you. I love my child. I have the best interest for my child." But it's so horrible that you are not doing the things that is going to actually cause a promising life for your loved ones. And as such, we do our little voting, and then we have these people in leadership position, and they cannot help us because we cannot help ourselves in the first place. So, my dear brothers and sisters out there, please, 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 don't get tapped with politics. No, politics is nasty because you're talking about life and death. You're talking about your loved ones. Have you had a loved one who have suffered, let's say, diabetes, died because of diabetes or heart attack or probably strokes or cancer or these kind of things that are preventable, right? Basically preventable. Have you have anybody like that or a young person who would have died in an accident? All of these things are connected to health, and the information system that upholds health is represented by people who are behind power and money. That's it. In plain daylight, they're making these points, focusing on superficial things rather than the actual substance. What is the percentage increase of depression, percentage increase of stress and hopelessness of the children, and what is the percentage increase or decrease of diabetes or hypertension? You thought this is called substance when it comes to health. Nothing else. Everything else is just mind play, politics. So I'd like to thank you all of you so much. Let's work together to have a better world. And please share this video as I say. I feel more confident now in these kind of videos, and I will continue to contribute so that we can help the world to become a better place and help ourselves to remove ourselves from illusion that is caused by our comfort zone that is based on addictions and habits in a crab and barrel society, right? Addictions and habits that that help us to fit in a crab and barrel society, that help us to fit in a compromising society. We want this kind of discussions that clears the illusion, clears the delusion once and for all. Our children are not going to do it because this generation here is a very haunted generation. So many media distracts them, they cannot think for themselves, and the media basically is controlling their lives. So I use the word haunted, all right? And so we cannot put the responsibility to them. This adult generation has to make all of the change. It's now or never. And it's a beautiful thing too. The truth is so beautiful. The truth, it's simple. You just have to work your mouth. That we need better signboard. We need better media to promote the cultivation of basically a natural, violence-free lifestyle. And and then you talk about organic permaculture. This is the real deal. This is a real deal that will make families independent, have that sense of control, have bond, have a stable society. And when you can live simple and stress free, then you'll be more productive. Okay, so I don't want to consume more time. I hope you got my point. But please, enough is enough, and share this message. Thank you so much.